podcast is sponsored by Anchor. Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. It gives you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or computer. Creation tools allow you to record and edit your podcast so it sounds great. They'll distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard everywhere, even on platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more. You can easily make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Download the Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. Once again, you can download the Anchor app, that's ANCHOR, or go to anchor.fm to get started. Hey y'all, my name is Christian, I'm a millennial, and this is the Millennial Mind. Millennials get a bad rap for being lazy, non-productive members of society. We also get told that our opinions are warped and don't matter. This podcast is designed to express a point of view on the world as a whole, but from a millennial's perspective. I will talk about love, current events, pretty much everything that comes to mind. Come join me on this journey on speaking my mind, and I would love for you to speak your mind as well. Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of The Millennial Mind. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey of speaking my mind. And I really hope that all of you all are speaking your mind as well. Before we get into today's topic, I am so happy and so excited because on our Facebook page, The Millennial Mind, we have over 100 likes. Yay! I should say over 100 likes and follows. Yay! Thank you guys so much for listening, supporting. Even if you listen to a small snippet, maybe you didn't listen to each and every episode. Maybe you listened to one episode, 2 episodes, all of the episodes. I really, from the bottom of my heart, thank all of you for supporting and just believing in the notion of everyone speaking their mind and just having the community where we could all speak our minds without there being any judgment. So really, thank you for that. Also, we want to get our Instagram to that level too. So make sure you go follow our Instagram page. It's pretty new. _millennial mind. So _millennial mind. Make sure you follow that on Instagram, and we will be good to go. So I hope you guys are doing well. Still going through quarantine, still going through this COVID-19. So I hope that all of you all are staying mentally healthy, emotionally healthy, spiritually healthy, physically healthy. I hope that that is the case for all of you. Now, getting into today's topic, I know that Mother's Day is coming up on Sunday, so I wanted to dedicate this episode to mothers and motherly figures. I want to be sensitive to individuals who may not have had an active mother due to the mother passing away, or maybe the mother didn't want to be active, but maybe you had a motherly figure. This episode will be dedicated to them. More specifically, I wanted to talk about my mom, and just kind of share with you guys a little bit about her. And then maybe what you can do is find some similarities between your mom or motherly figure and my mom. So, my mom, her name is Deborah, and she will correct you if you say Deborah. It is not Deborah, it is Deborah. She will correct you really quick and say that, her name is Hebrew and the correct Hebrew pronunciation is Deborah. Okay, mommy. But anyway, my mom, her name is Deborah. She had me when she was 28. And I feel like I appreciate her more now than I did when I was a child or when I was growing up. And there's so many reasons why I appreciate my mom and love my mom. And really, this could be an hour-long episode or more, but I don't want to do that. I just want to go through 5 reasons why I love my mom. The first reason is that she's God-fearing. My mom, she raised me up in God. You can listen to a previous episode that I did about growing up churchy. I kind of make some jokes in there and, also talked about the disadvantages of it. But for the most part, growing up in the church and seeing my mom lead the example of being a Christian was the best thing that I could ever see as a child. I would see my mom praying, and praying really hard. Tears coming out her eyes, snot coming out her nose, having little snot bubbles. Like, it was really bad, but she was praying really hard. Sometimes I would, be concerned. Like, Mom, why are you praying so hard? But I would listen to her prayers as a child. She would pray for her family. She would pray for her church. She would pray for her husband. She would pray for the nation. She would pray for her children. Oh, she would pray for her children. She would pray not only for her children, but for her grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Like, people that she may not even see in her lifetime. She's praying for these people. And it just really encouraged me to have a prayer life. She also had Bible study with me and my brother. And I know if my brother was here to attest, he would do it. But my mom, she would have Bible class with us. Usually, it varied. But for the most part, she would teach from the book of Proverbs. And if you're familiar with the Bible, the book of Proverbs is a lot of wise sayings. And it was good for everyday life. And she felt like it was good for instruction. So she taught us from that, even though we didn't like it, we would hate it. But she taught us from that because she wanted us to have that strong biblical foundation. And no matter how much we strayed, we always seemed to come back to that foundation because she drove it into us. And that's one thing I've always admired about my mom, and one thing that I would like to do with my kids is raise my kids in God and the principles of God, and be able to show my kids that it's okay to have a prayer life. It's normal. You want to pray. You want to read the Bible. You want to teach your children about God. So I admired my mom for setting that example for me And I'm certainly going to set that example for my kids. Another reason why I loved my sweet mother was that she taught me everything I needed to know about being a woman. My mom, she is a girly girl to the T, more than I am. My mom, I would always see her dressing up, making sure that she looked her best, whether it was church or whether it was casually. She always put on makeup. She was always wearing like dressy hats and gloves and heels. And one thing I do remember her doing is wearing a lot of heels. I remember as a young girl going into her closet and looking through the heels and seeing which ones I wanted to put on and trying to practice to walk in my heels just like my mom, because I would see her do it. I would see her do 4-inch heels. So I would practice in her heels. I know she would get mad at me sometimes. You're like, girl, what you doing? But she taught me how to do that, how to walk in heels, how to dress accordingly. My mom, she was very conservative in the way she dressed. I'm a little bit liberal, just a little bit, just barely crossing over the middle ground. But she told me or taught me that, when you dress, you don't dress provocatively, because what you're willing to show is what you're willing to share. And if you don't want to share that, don't show it. So I never saw my mom, showing a lot of leg or showing a lot of boobs. She was very classy with how she dressed. But it was cute though. I thought it was cute. She always got her hair done. My mom, one thing that she taught me, and one thing that I do remember, she was like, if you don't get anything else done, get your hair, get your nails, get your feet done. And that's what I would see her do. I would always see her get her hair, nails, and feet done. I remember going with her to the beauty shop and to the nail shop and just sitting there, just looking like, really, like, somebody get me out of here. I don't want to be in here. But she found ways to keep herself up. And I think that's basically what she was trying to show. Like, maybe for you ladies, maybe your mother or maybe you didn't, get your hair done or get your nails and feet done because that wasn't your thing. But whatever way that, whatever method that you did in order to keep yourself up, that's key. And that's something that you want to pass down to your children. That's something that my mom passed down to me. So she was very intentional with keeping herself up, because she was saying, you're going to get married one day. And a lot of women, when they get married, they let themselves go. You don't want to be like that, because your husband, he's going to be more physical than you are. He's going to be looking at the physical, and he does not want to be married to no baboon. That's what she told me. So that's something that I kept in mind, and I make a conscious effort to keep myself up, get my nails, get my feet done, get my hair done. Now, during this COVID-19, I ain't getting nothing done, and it's quite frustrating, and my nails and my feet and my hair is screaming for help. Like, help me, send for help, dial 911. But you know what? It's going to get better, so I'm not even worried. But my mom, she just set that example, on how to keep myself up. She also taught me how to speak in public as a woman. So my mom, like I was saying before, she's very conservative. So her talk was very intentional. She was intentional with her words, and she was classy with it. I remember I went to the mall with her, and we were looking for some jewelry. And she turned to me and she was like, Christian, she was like, you see them girls right there? And I saw a couple of girls. They were probably around my age. I was like, yeah. She was like, listen to the way they're talking right now. And their talk, it was just vulgar, provocative. It was just, every other word was just, a curse word. And she was telling me, if you're, if I was a manager and I was trying to hire them for a job and they were coming to me like that, I wouldn't hire them. She was like, you don't want to be like that. There are more words that you can use other than profanity. There are thousands of words in the dictionary that don't include swear words. Find one, use it. So my mom taught me how to be more intentional about my words and learn other words that, of course, wasn't profane. So all those things kind of cultivated me into being the woman that I am today. And I'm sure there are some other ways that she taught me how to be a woman that, I'm not mentioning right now. But for the most part, those are the virtues and the things that she drove into me in order for me to be the woman that I am today. And I'm grateful for that. Another reason why I love my mom is she's passionate. My mom is super passionate. And when I say passionate, it kind of goes into dramatic. She is so dramatic. My mom could take something, as simple as the sky is blue and make it into like an Oscar-winning scene. It's like, Mom, why you have to be like that? That's just too much. But that's just how she is. That's her personality. And it's just really interesting to see. And it's funny. It really makes her, very comedic. She doesn't think that she's funny, but her being passionate and dramatic, it just makes her funny, and it just lightens up her personality. So I always tell my mom that she's funny and, that she's dramatic too. But that's something that I always appreciate because it made my upbringing interesting, especially when she's mad. I remember one time when she got, so her and my brother got into it. My brother was probably about 15 or 16. And so my brother had said something. I'm not sure what he said. And so my mom, she just stood there. She was like, you know what? I got two voices speaking to me. One voice is telling me to pick you up and throw you out that window. The other voice is telling me to just, no, Deborah, just be calm, and, try to straighten out this issue with your son. Which voice should I listen to? And of course, my brother was like, listen to the latter voice. But my mom, she will always say stuff like that. Or when we were in high school, my mom, she was very creative with how she dealt with us as teenagers. Sometimes she would pop up at the school. Like I remember, eating lunch and I hear somebody, in the back of me saying, hey, Christian. I was like, whoa, where'd you go? I thought you was at work. First of all, you're supposed to be at work. Why are you here? She was like, oh, I'm just checking on you, Pop Goes the Weasel. I'm like, ma'am, this is just too much. This is just too much. But of course, everybody who came in contact with my mom loved her because she was just funny like that. She was super funny, super dramatic, super passionate. And some of those instances will like forever stay in my head. And whenever I have teenagers or children in general, I feel like I'm going to be just like her and just dramatic and passionate. Speaking of children, another reason why I love my mom is that she loves her children. My mom, she will do anything for her children. You know, and sometimes she will do anything to even to her own demise. I remember when my brother graduated from boot camp from the Marine Corps. It was getting close to the graduation, and he was able to call my mom, and my brother was saying all the stuff that he wanted as far as after he graduated, which we were going to be attending the graduation. So my mom cooked everything. I think he asked for a cake, some chicken, some other stuff. She made all of it. And what's crazy about it is that she took it all on the plane. I'm like, ma'am, why are you taking all the stuff on the plane? But my brother wanted it. She loved my brother, so she did it because she loved him. Another instance is when I usually go to Bible class every Wednesday, when the church was open. And my mom, she would... Now, I live right around the corner from the church. So my mom would usually follow me home to make sure that I got into the house okay. Because at the time I would get home, my husband would be asleep because he works nights. So I would get so irritated with my mom. I'm like, Mom, why are you doing this? It's like unnecessary. I'm going to be fine. There are plenty of times where I go to my house at night and you're not there and I'm fine. So why are you doing this? But I thought about it and I kind of got convicted because my mom, and I'm sure that you guys' mom or motherly figures as well, is always going to worry about you. Whether you're grown or not, just all the time. They're always going to worry about you. They're always going to have your best interests in mind. So me stopping my mom from following me home to make sure I got into the house okay was basically stopping her from being a mother. Because that's essentially what she was doing. She was being a mother. And I know that if something would happen to her, I would beg and wish that I could have those moments again. So I told myself, like, Christian, you're just going to appreciate this. You're going to appreciate your mom being a mother. Because it really, you really couldn't have that blessing. And there may be a time where that won't be the case, where your mom won't be able to follow you home to make sure you get into the house okay. So trying to appreciate my mom being a mother, because even though I'm almost 30, I'm going to be 30 in actually a couple of months, that doesn't stop her from being a mother. And I'm appreciative of that. That love, that care, that is something that I treasure and I hope to pass down to my kids. And one of the last things that I love about my mom is that she is my friend. So I remember my mom used to tell me, she was like, I am not your friend, I'm your mother. If a friendship comes out, this relationship, tell the Lord thank you. That's what she would tell me. But as I got older, I found out that me and my mom had a lot in common. We had a lot of similar goals, a lot of similar interests. So me and my mom, that's my shopping buddy, that's my nail shop buddy, that's my buddy right there. I talk to her every day, sometimes multiple times a day. And my husband, he'd be looking like, why is this happening? Why? You just talk to your mom. I was like, I know, but, she probably has something important to say, which, it'd be something silly or, something that she saw or heard. But still, I appreciate that relationship I have with my mom, because I know so many people who don't have that relationship with their mom. And I'm just so thankful to have that. And I'm glad I was able to appreciate her early. And I hope that relationship never changes. My mom, she is everything to me. For this Mother's Day, I wish I could do a lot more for her, but COVID-19 just stopped everybody's show. But I love my mom. I cherish her. I treasure her. I'm glad that God chose her to be my mommy. And if I could be 1/4 of the woman that she is, then I think that I've done very well. So, how do you feel about your mom or your motherly figure? Let me know. Send me an email at mindofmillennials@gmail.com. You can also share a comment on our Facebook page, The Millennial Mind, and then also on our Instagram page, _Millennial Mind. On our Facebook page, I started like a little thread for you to share a picture of you and your mom or your motherly figure, so make sure you share a picture there. Also, I was thinking about doing a YouTube page for this podcast, so that not only you can get the audio, but you could get the video as well. How do you feel about that? Let me know. Let me know via email at mindofmillennials@gmail.com. And as always, your girl has a quote for you guys. And this is in honor of Mother's Day. And it says, "A mother is she who can take the place of all others, but whose place no one else can take." Ain't that the truth? So happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, all of the motherly figures. I hope that you guys enjoy this Mother's Day, even though we're in quarantine, trying to make the best of the day. And until next week, I will see you guys soon.